Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Engel, and I'm with Elite Insurance Partners and MedicareFAQ.com. Thank you so much for joining us. And in today's video, we're going to discuss and compare the differences between Medigap Plan F versus Plan G versus Plan N. But before we start comparing the plans, we need to address some important changes that have impacted all Medicare beneficiaries that were newly eligible as of 2020. The year that you became eligible for Medicare is what will determine which plans you are eligible to enroll in. So, if you were eligible for Medicare before 2020, you can enroll in any of the top 3 plans, being Plan F, Plan G, or Plan N. If you were not eligible for Medicare until this year or after 2020, you will not be eligible to enroll in Plan F. Your options will be Plan G and Plan N. The first plan we're going to talk about is Plan F. Now remember, if you were eligible for Medicare before 2020, you can choose to enroll in this plan. If you were not eligible for Medicare until after 2020, you will not be eligible to enroll in Plan F. Plan F is considered a first dollar coverage plan because it will leave beneficiaries with zero out-of-pocket costs outside of their monthly premium. With Plan F, you'll have no cost sharing. This includes deductibles, coinsurance, and copays. Now, let's talk about Plan G. Plan G has been the runner-up plan to Plan F due to it covering almost all of the same benefits. The only benefit Plan G does not cover is the Part B deductible. What this means is you'll have coverage for all of your out-of-pocket expenses, including copays, coinsurance, and deductibles. Once you've met that Part B deductible, the only out-of-pocket cost will be your monthly premium for Plan G. If you find the premium for Plan F a little bit too high to fit into your monthly budget, Plan G is a great alternative. Again, if you were eligible for Medicare before 2020, you can choose F or G. But if you were not eligible for Medicare until after 2020, then Plan G is the plan that's going to give you the most benefits that you're eligible for. Last but not least is Plan N. Plan N has quickly become one of the most popular choices that our clients choose to enroll in. Plan N is considered a cost-sharing plan. This is because when you visit the doctor's office or the emergency room, you will have a small copay to pay. These copays is what keeps your monthly premium low. When you go to the doctor's office, you'll have a $20 copay. If you end up in the emergency room, you'll have a $50 copay. In addition to the copays, you'll be responsible for the Part B deductible as well as any excess charges. However, most beneficiaries don't need to be concerned with excess charges. Some states do not even allow them, and most doctors won't charge you with excess charges. Quick tip: if you can find an urgent care facility near you, then you won't have any copay to pay when you go to visit. Now let's compare the differences in premiums for each plan. For example, let's say Plan F cost you $120 in monthly premiums. If you multiply that by 12, that gives you a total annual premium of $1,440. Since Plan F is considered a first dollar coverage plan, you know that the only cost you'll have is the annual premium of $1,440. Now remember, if you were not eligible for Medicare until after 2020, you were not eligible to enroll in Plan F. Now let's go over an example of the monthly premiums for Plan G. Let's say Plan G costs $100 in monthly premiums. If you multiply that by 12, that gives you a total out-of-pocket annual premium of $1,200. In addition to the annual premium, you'll be responsible for the Part B deductible. Now, it's important to compare your total out-of-pocket costs with Plan G and Plan F because some might find that Plan G is cheaper than Plan F when you consider the annual out-of-pocket cost in total. For example, if you take the annual premium for Plan F, which is $1,440, and compare it side by side with the annual premium for Plan G, which is $1,200, you would see that after you paid the Part B deductible, you would have actually saved over the year when compared to Plan F. Now let's give an example of the monthly premiums for Plan N. Let's say Plan N cost you a total of $90 each month. If you multiply that by 12, that would give you an annual out-of-pocket cost of $1,080. In addition to the $1,080, you'll also be responsible for the Part B deductible. And since Plan N is a cost-sharing plan, remember you'll be responsible for a $20 copay when visiting a doctor's office and a $50 copay when visiting the emergency room. This is important to take into consideration if you visit the doctor's office often. If you are not one to visit the doctor's office often, then Plan N may be a good choice for you. If you're overall healthy and you only find yourself visiting the doctor's office, say twice a year, that means that you only have an additional $40 in copays to pay on top of the annual premium of $1,080 and Part B deductible. However, if you find yourself visiting a doctor's office, let's say each month, totaling 12 times a year, that would leave you with a total of $240 out of pocket in additional copays on top of the annual premium and Part B deductible. Therefore, it may make more sense to enroll in Plan G if you do find yourself visiting doctor's office more than a few times a year. It's important to remember that premiums vary from state to state. So while one beneficiary may find that Plan F is cheaper annually, another beneficiary may find that Plan G is cheaper annually. To recap, Plan F will give you the most benefits. However, the more benefits you have, the higher your monthly premium will be. With Plan G, the only thing you'll be responsible for out-of-pocket outside of the monthly premium is the Part B deductible. With Plan N, the only out-of-pocket cost you're responsible for outside of the monthly premium is the Part B deductible, as well as excess charges, in addition to small co-pays when visiting doctor's office and emergency room, which is what keeps your monthly premium lower. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn notifications on so that you're notified each time we upload a new video. We also have a fantastic Medicare community on Facebook. We'll make sure to include a link below in the description so that you can join. Until next time, bye!